Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here. Today is Wednesday, which normally we would have Block Wednesday, and that'll start again the first Wednesday in January. So I have mine up on the wall, because I will now get the that wide back cut for this, so that next week I can drop it off to Jenny to be long-armed here in town. Yes. So today on our calendar, first we'll do the calendar item, and then we're going to have a little parade of quilts that have been shown in my community for the fall frolic. So I just grabbed a bunch of them and I thought it'd be really fun to show them to you, and a couple other things with a mail call at the end. Okay, so today on the calendar it says relax, because it's a reminder. It's a reminder to you to be sure you take time to relax. Be sure in the next few days between now and the end of the year, when there's always seems to be kind of a rush of activities and things that we want to accomplish. I know I'm a end of year person. There's always stuff that I'm like, oh, I wish I want to do this by the end of the year. But you need to take time to relax. Breathe, go in your space, go in your sewing space, even if you're just in there sorting your fabric or something like that. Don't ignore the need to give yourself a break, because if you don't, you'll become quite exhausted. I'm sure you know that feeling. So when you start to feel it, remember, take a break. Okay, that's the relaxed part today. So the Parade of Quilts, I went out and got, just a nice handful of quilts, and I'm going to show you the pictures because it is so fun to sort of see them all together. That is I think the neat part about being able to share our quilts, is then to see how the same pattern can look so incredibly different, and they all are so amazing. So I'm going to just walk through them and pop the pictures up here as we go along. We have Anne, who on the camera, on the monitor, it looks like peach tones. Her whole background is peach tones, which I totally love. I did the peach for the old school block of the month, so I'm sort of into that. Now Barbara has some really great sashings, and she looks like she had a very limited number of fabrics that she used, so that it's super cohesive and it's got a really gorgeous look to it. Carol's has this forest green background. I just love seeing the different backgrounds. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more of that, because I've just sort of drifted away, like I talked about before, and used more light backgrounds, but I gotta use some more colors. Kathy has these super happy fabrics and they spill out into her border. This is just a happy quilt. They sort of look a little bit like 30s fabrics, which I always find to be like the most happy fabrics that are out there. Cheryl, yeah, did this really snazzy layout. I just love it. This is so cool. She also has some really great colors, a little bit different. Now Chris on hers went and took dark bands in her sashing, so that gives it a bit more definition of the sashing, so it shows up the sashing in a different way when you don't use it all the same fabrics. And several of you did that, and they all are so interesting, and I love them. Cindy's black background is, black is just like so elegant, and then she used these really soft prints, and they look almost like an Amish color palette to me. Like, I grew up, my family around near the Amish country, and so those look like really the kind of colors the Amish would have. Denise's floral with the blue setting is she has these blues all in the setting squares, and that just makes it so neat to have it very, very similar. Now Gail used a lot of really small scale prints, and so it can read a little bit solid, which is really fascinating and beautiful, and it's so cozy. I love the blue that she has in there as well. Like popping in a different color for the fall, like I did teal in mine. That just gives those fall colors a little punch. Now Heather went for the red, white, and blue, and she also just did a sashing with this spectacular stripe. So that's where it's all pulled together. The plum and ivory in Helen's is so soft and gorgeous. I would love to see this quilt up close. Now Jan is another one who used a different color beside, multiple colors for her, or 2 colors for her sashing. So that's not just one. So it really makes the sashing stand out. Now you can always go over to my community page, and there is a tab for photos, and you can just scroll through photos. It is very hard to make them by project. It just is impossible. Also here I have the photo sharing at my website, and some of you have listed your pictures there. So Joanna has shown us both her front and the back. So the front is super cozy, and on the back it looks like she used a lot, made crumb blocks and other kinds of blocks and big chunks of fabric that she didn't use, and made her whole back like that. It is spectacular. Jocelyn's is another quilt that is just so happy. It's got happy fabrics and it just looks so cuddly. Now you have to look close. I had to scroll in on this one because I knew I saved it for a reason, and Kathleen has an abundance of moose fabric. There's like little moose in a lot of those prints, and that is so darling when you have a theme going. The light green background that Laura used, and then those pops of pinks, that is just wonderful. It looks very spring-like. Springy fall. Lucia, she had a sashing here that's just like a statement. It's just a great sashing, and it really makes it stand out. Now, let's see, Penny has black, and then she bordered it with tan, which is very classic. Black and tan is such a classic combination. It looks so good. And then she has some pops of green in there. Some of you adjusted things, like you've already seen one layout that was different. Mary went and put stars in some of the cornerstones instead of the, in addition, she has, I think, both the block that I have, and then she has stars. Mickey has this fabulous fall border on hers that really just pulled the whole quilt together. This is a nice example if you're wondering what one piece of fabric will do. It just makes the whole thing come together. Just a couple of more. Miriam has this wonderful fall colors, and that she added pink. There's this touch of pink. Now, it might not be pink. It looks like pink on the monitor, but it might be coral or something like that. But it is so good. And then Teresa did this really fabulous setting, which I love. So fun when you take a different setting and you make it work for you. And then Tracy's is another one I had to scroll in because I knew I saved it for a reason. And she has this adorable animal print that she was using in all of the blocks. And so when you scroll into that picture, you can see all of these different prints, and they're just so, so cute. So there are many, many more that have been shown, and they are all just, over the moon good. They're just wonderful. I love them so much. And I've been trying to, when I first started collecting these, just collected them randomly so that we could see a variety of people's as they made them. Now our next Block Wednesday is called Sweet Dreams. We're all going to have that song stuck in our head. And this is the supply list, and I gave you just a few things because a couple people had questions. I give you the pattern with the supply list and the layout, but the layout is not complete. There are sections, of course, all the blocks are not here yet. There are basically 18 weeks to this one, and I do not recommend you do anything until we start together. A few people, because you haven't sewn with me before, you were like, should we cut the fabric? No, 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 no. Don't do anything. Just wait. Make some of the blocks and then see how things are going, because you will be unhappy. I can guarantee it. You will not, you may not know where I'm going with things. And so, that's just waiting is the best thing to do. Now I am using Moonstone, which is this fabric line that has a little bit of pink, turquoise, black, gray, ivory, and then with a couple extra fabrics. Like this is one that will be used for several sort of places in the quilt. And I'm going to tell you that stuff when we get there. It's, you know, I'm not telling you now because it's all a fun mystery. I only recently started giving you the layout here early because in the past I would give it to you after we had done, you know, 3 or 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then I would give you the layout. But I thought that it might be nicer for you to have the layout in the beginning, so you kind of have at least a little bit of a direction on where we're going. Occasionally I might still do one with no layout in the beginning. You know, you just have to mix it up, make it fun so that it's not always the same. I like it to be different. And the Sweet Dreams, we're going to be talking about desserts. Hey, we're going to start January off with desserts. It sounds good to me. I think 2022 is going to be a good year. We're ready for that. I'm ready for that. So I thought desserts would be a wonderful way for the first sew along to have our underlying theme. I also have my Kitchen Adventures group so that we can put dessert menus in there and talk about it in there as well. And that community is also public, so you do not have to be on Facebook to join in the fun. You can just come as a guest, both for my Quilt Along with Pat Sloan and the Kitchen Adventures. So I am excited. I hope that you have collected up some fabric. You still have time. You have time even after we start. It's just 1 block a week. If you know, are on the fence, get off the fence. You can do this with us. It'll be fun. And I do want to tell you that I have a notes here somewhere. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes you watch something and it's right place, right time. You know, I've been thinking about how to sort of process projects in the house here that are not work projects. You know, I have projects that I want to get to that I just have not gotten to. And so I've been thinking about how to handle that. And I was watching Kathryn on Do It on a Dime. And I don't know if you ever watch Do It on a Dime, but she is wonderful. She's a great YouTuber. She has wonderful, fun, inexpensive ideas and lots of inspiration. So it was kind of like the universe hits the right place, right time. And I'll link you below down there to her video where it's talking about Swedish death cleaning. So if you've never heard of Swedish death cleaning, it is kind of like the Fly Lady and any of those things where you get rid of stuff that you don't really need. But she talks a little bit about that. But she also talks about doing things in 20-minute increments, just how much you can get done. And I've talked about that for positive things like, you know, fun things like sewing. Get your 10 minutes of sewing in, get 20 minutes of sewing in. But she was talking also about doing the tasks that aren't any fun. You know, do 20 minutes of it, and you will move yourself forward. So I thought it'd be worth sharing that because it really motivated me and made me think about the things in a little bit different light, which is a powerful message. And I thank Kathryn for that. Okay, I have a little mail call. Some gorgeous cards. First, this is from Jerry in Missouri. Look how pretty that cardinal is. Winter cardinals are the best, right? Aren't they just, you gotta, and with snow. I won't be having snow this year. It's gonna be like 60 degrees on Christmas Day. So we won't be having any snow. This is from Marcia in Nova Scotia, Canada. I love lighthouses more than I realized. This is just a wonderful. What is she? She told me that she just started. She hasn't been following that long. Is she the one? Oh, so I was helping her teach. I was helping her by showing her how to do blocks. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Marcia. This one is from Karen in Michigan. And I have met Karen. Karen, waving to you, Karen. Karen is been hanging around with me for a long time. Is a good friend, and thank you so much. See you again someday. This is from Rita in New Jersey. Look at that winter scene. Look at that Christmas scene. This is like what we all want to have on Christmas morning, isn't it? At least I do. And then she sent me a wonderful Starbucks card, which, by the way, thank you. Starbucks is on you today. Okay, who else we got here? This is from Reeve. Look at how sweet that is. I just love that with the little children. And she also sent me a Starbucks card. And this is one that has one of the sort of, I'm not sure if it's a state one. They do some state cards, you know, so they have all kinds of cards that are really unique, and I collect some of those and I keep them after I've used the money on them. So thank you, Reeve. Mwah. And two more. Anne sent me more cardinals. Aren't those gorgeous? Look at them. And then she also sent me a bunch of edges that she thought were really interesting. Look, I'll hold them up there. So look at them. She so nicely taped them on here so that I could easily hold them up. That's great. I like this hop, skip, and a jump from Sandy Klopp, my friend Sandy Klopp of American Jane. Okay, and the last one is from Melissa. Melissa is, did I tell you where Reeve was from? Reeve is from, no, that's from Anne. Reeve is from Colorado. Did I say that? Colorado. So Melissa is from Ohio. And she sent me, look how sweet. Look at those stockings. I would just like a mantle like that. Just like, what, like, here, I gotta do the, snap our fingers and get a mantle like that. But she sent me this gorgeous bag that she made. And look at the fabric. Look at that. Melissa, it is perfect. This perfect fabric. I love it. The bees caps. I need to get another one for my garden. And she sent me some edges, plus this super cute, tiny little yellow scissors. I love it. They are so darling. It's got a little cap on it, pulls off. And then I have wanted one of these, Melissa, and this is my first. So it's for catching your threads. I think I also could put threads I want to reuse. I saw somebody like wrap them up like sort of in a circle and laid them on there so they sort of stick. It's got flannel or batting inside. But thank you, those are amazing. So I hope that you enjoyed the fall frolic. Little tour, little parade of quilts, and that you're ready for Sweet Dreams. Starts in just 2 weeks. That's right, 2 weeks. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. See you online.